Good morning, everyone. Uh, here's another episode, and I think this is episode number 4. And this one is one that is, again, it's personal in a lot of ways because I have had the good fortune of having good friends, colleagues, uh, administrators, mentors who have helped me on my journey in so many different ways. Um, I don't know about you, but have you ever noticed that the people who have influenced your life the most weren't always the ones who agreed with everything you said? Boy, I know that's true for me. And uh, sometimes they were the people who challenged you. They asked difficult questions. They expected more from you than you at that time thought you could give. They saw potential and in you that you couldn't yet see in yourself. Again, I've mentioned him many times, Tom McGauley. Uh, yes, I was a big, strong, angry kid who probably would make a good football player. But there was a lot more that he saw in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself. You know, those people that have influenced you and also have influenced me didn't make my life easier necessarily. They made you stronger, and my mentors, teachers, coaches, friends, they made me stronger. Proverbs 27:17 tells us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Uh, the verse reminds us that growth rarely happens in isolation. And is this so very, very true? It happens through relationships that challenge us to become better than we were yesterday. I've seen it so many times in so many different ways, and I'll just relate to you the working in the weight room uh, and how just a few guys yelling at each other, challenging each other, help you accomplish things and have helped many young men and women actually that I've coached and worked with in the weight room accomplish great things. Think about what happens when one piece of iron sharpens another. And this is, yes, we've all looked at a blacksmith shop in videos or pictures or watched it in a movie. There is friction, there is pressure, the hammering of with a sledgehammer, there is movement. Without that process, the blade remains dull. It's just plain. The same is true in each of our lives. God often uses people to sharpen our character, not always by making us comfortable. My gosh, this is so very, very true. Um, but by helping us grow. And sometimes that sharpening comes from a coach who believes we can do more. Sometimes it comes from a teacher who refuses to let us settle for mediocrity. Sometimes it comes from a mentor who just lovingly tells us the truth is that we really need to hear. And sometimes it comes from a faithful friend who says, I believe you're capable of something greater. I've had that happen to me. Now, some of those friends aren't around here anymore. They're on the other side in heaven, probably watching me do this little episode. Looking back over my own journey, I realize how many people God placed in my life to sharpen me. My father, who a lot of times I was angry at it, and I probably didn't realize how he sharpened me until much later in my life. Many, many teachers, uh, have touched me and helped me on my journey and have helped sharpen me. My coaches, uh, Tom McGauley, Don Curlin, Jim Christensen, Vern Spitzer, uh, friends who were great coaches, Nick Storog, Joe Howell, um, other friends who were also instrumental in their touch and influence on me, Phil Martin, Jerry Ford, and so many others. My mentors, um, my friends, each one challenged me in a different way. Some encouraged me, some corrected me, some inspired me by their actions, some simply believed in me before I believed in myself, and none of them made me perfect, but each helped shape the person I was becoming. You know, the idea of the becomers is that we are all transforming and changing to a better form of ourselves if we so choose. And in doing that, we need help along that way. True sharpening is never about tearing someone down. It's about building someone up. It's not criticizing that person for the sake of criticizing, not being angry at them. It is accountability wrapped in love. As angry as Tom McGauley was at us as football players, you know what? I'm pretty sure he loved us a lot. I know each of us that are members of the class of '69 understand that because uh, we became champions because of what he instilled in us, and he put it there, loving us and actually being angry at us at times. He encouraged us with absolutely being honest about us being able to do better. The people who sharpen us are not trying to change who God created us to be. They are helping remove the rough edges. They keep us from becoming the person God uh, doesn't want us necessarily to be. God created us to become special in our own way. You actually have to be courageous and to be sharpened. There's another side of this verse. Not only do we need people who sharpen us, we must be willing to be sharpened. That requires something called humility. And that's a very simple concept to humble yourself. It requires the ability to be a good listener and listening, not waiting to get your chance to speak, but listening to and taking it in and accepting it. And it happens no matter our age, no matter our accomplishments, no matter how much experience we have in certain things, there's always something more to learn. The moment we believe that we have nothing left to learn is the moment we stop growing. And the Lord wants us to keep growing. As I think about this verse, I can't help but think about the many people who invested in my life. Uh, Again, the teachers who challenged me to think differently, administrators who did exactly the same thing as once I was in the classroom, the coaches who expected more than I thought I could give, the mentors who quietly shared wisdom uh, through their own experiences, and even the students and athletes that I had the privilege of teaching. Many times they sharpened me just as much as I hope to encourage them. And I I have more than a few young men who I coached who never played a down as a starter, but they I'm going to thank him. I'll thank you right now. You sharpened me by the courage that you showed to show up every single day from the time you started playing football for me as a freshman to the day that you stepped off the field for the last time as a senior. And your courage, your resilience, your perseverance, it was inspirational in so many ways. And I guess that is one of the beautiful things about healthy relationships. And yes, you are one of my kids. When we are growing up as a child, we're always getting this input from other places. And sometimes as adults, we don't always pay attention to it. But I did. And growth travels both directions. We strengthen one another. Today, I invite you to reflect on two important questions. Who has sharpened your life? Have you thanked them? That's a gratitude piece, and that's a big deal. And just as importantly, whose life are you helping sharpen? Your encouragement, your honesty, your example, your faith. Your faith alone may become one of God's greatest tools in helping someone discover their purpose, uh, and to be a good example in that way. Thank you for joining me on this faith journey. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, keep encouraging, and keep becoming the person God created you to be. Take a look at the reflection page and worksheet and journaling page and worksheets. And if you so choose, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. And if you really want to take on a challenge, become part of the becomers. And as I say virtually every time I do a video, today you're going to come across somebody who needs help, that needs to be raised up and helped out in some special way. And by doing that, you're going to make their day better, their life better, and at the same time, you make your day better, your life better, and this world a whole lot better place. Because caring and helping someone out is a really big deal. You all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.